A lot of my students often tell me that they struggle when it comes to making conversation in English. They say that they know a lot of words or phrases, but they just don't know how to answer some fairly simple questions. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you 55 of the most common questions in English and how someone is likely to answer them. I'm going to do this with a very special guest, my mum.
Hi, I'm Maria, Chris's mum.
She's going to ask the 55 questions and I'm going to answer them as I normally would, like we're having a normal conversation, my mother and I, without any cameras here. Remember, there is a free PDF worksheet with this video to help you learn any words or phrases that I'm going to use. All you have to do is click the link in the description below and I'll send it right over to you. Anyway, are you ready? Let's get started.
Topic 1, general questions. How's it going?
Not too shabby. How are you doing?
What have you been up to lately?
I've been snowed under the past couple of weeks, so I haven't really had much time for myself. Hopefully things will get back to normal next week.
How was your weekend?
The weekend was pretty good. I popped down the pub on Saturday to meet some friends. We had a couple of pints and watched the football. Sunday, I was just pottering around the house.
What have you got planned for the rest of the week?
I'm trying to be more productive, so I've got a Spanish class on Wednesday evening, and on Friday after work, I'll probably hit the gym.
What do you like to do in your free time?
In my spare time, I love to read, especially fiction. I just finished reading a great book called Yellowface.
Topic 2, work. What do you do?
I teach English for a living. I started out in Japan, mainly helping adults pass their IELTS exam. However, I've also taught general English in Peru and Spain.
How did you start working in this area?
Well, I always wanted to travel, and I had a friend whose sister was teaching abroad. So when I finished university, I took a teacher training course and then applied for jobs all over the world.
How's your workload been recently?
I would say it's up and down. Some days I end up working for 7 to 8 hours, which can be quite tough as a teacher because you are constantly talking. Other days I might only work for 3 to 4 hours, so it's not all bad.
What are you having for lunch?
I'm trying to save a bit of money this month, so I've brought in last night's leftovers in a Tupperware.
What's the best part of your job?
The best part about my job is that I get to discover new cultures. For example, recently I've been teaching a bloke from Tajikistan, and he's been telling me all about the food, the landscape, and loads more.
What did you do in your last job?
In my last job, I was working at a university that focused on hospitality. I had students from all over the world and I would help them with their business English so that they could easily work in any role of a hotel.
What would you like to do in the future for work?
If I could do anything, I would love to have my own company because I want to be my own boss. I know in the beginning it might be quite stressful. However, in the long run, I think it'd be better than working in a company.
Topic 3, hometown. Where are you from?
I was born and bred in Oxford. Well, actually, I grew up in a little village about 20 to 30 minutes from Oxford.
What was it like growing up there?
I would say it was a good place to grow up. I could go out to the park and play football with my mates until quite late in the evening, and my parents wouldn't have to worry that something bad was going to happen because it was a pretty quiet place.
What is there to do in your city?
Oxford isn't a huge city, but I would say the best thing to do is visit the museums. Pitt Rivers is one of my personal favourites, and it's usually free to enter.
How would you describe the people from your hometown?
In general, I would say most people are polite and friendly. Sometimes people might have a bit of a chat with a stranger at the bus stop or in the shop. However, I think people from Oxford are definitely colder than other areas of the UK, like up north.
If I visited your city, what would you recommend I should do?
Well, you have to visit the cosy pubs in Oxford. It's where most of the students spend their time, and one of my favourite is called the Turf Tavern. Of course, if you are lucky enough to have a bit of sunshine while you're there, punting is a great choice.
Topic 4, entertainment. Are you reading anything good at the moment, and what's it called?
I've just taken up Portuguese, so I bought a book for beginners, and I'm gradually making my way through it. It's pretty cool because it comes with audio as well.
What app couldn't you live without?
Oh, it's shameful to say, but I'm absolutely addicted to TikTok. I'd say I spend around 4 hours in total per day on it.
What's the last movie or TV series that you watched?
I've been binge watching my favourite TV series of all time, Peep Show. I watch it all the way through every now and then.
How often did you go to the cinema or theatre?
Going to the cinema or theatre can cost a small fortune nowadays, so it's been a while. If I could, I would love to see one of Harold Pinter's plays.
What's the film that you're embarrassed to say that you enjoy?
It's a tricky one because I have a few to choose from. I'd say The Notebook. It's a classic rom-com and a bit cheesy at times, but I enjoy it.
Topic 5, hobbies. What is a hobby or interest that you're really passionate about?
At the moment, I'm really into videography. I love how you can be creative with video and how you can tell stories or convey information in different ways.
How did you first get interested in that hobby?
I suppose it all started during the pandemic when I literally had nothing to do. I basically started making short 30-second videos and it just took off from there.
What do you like most about doing this hobby?
The best thing about making videos is that the possibilities are endless. I can shoot from different angles, use a variety of effects, collaborate and meet new people. It's a lot of fun.
What have you learnt from doing it?
I've learnt that everybody is bad in the beginning. When I first started, the videos I made were terrible and I was so embarrassed, but I've learned that everybody is bad in the beginning.
What is something new that you would like to take up?
Sailing looks quite interesting, and in the summer months, it would be amazing to rent a boat on one of the Mediterranean islands and just sail around.
What did you do when you were younger?
During the weekdays, my friends and I would finish school at around 3:30 and we would go straight down the park and play football. We would spend hours and hours playing a game called Heads and Volleys.
Topic 6, travelling. Have you travelled anywhere recently and where did you go?
I just got back from Argentina actually. Buenos Aires is a fantastic city full of life. I'm planning to go back there sometime this year.
Do you prefer city breaks or beach holidays?
I feel like city breaks are more interesting. I'm not really one for lying on the beach for hours each day. I need to be out and about doing stuff, to be honest.
What's your best travel hack?
You might have seen it already on the internet, but it's about saving money with your flight. So instead of buying checked luggage, you can simply buy a pillowcase and fill it with your extra clothes. When you get on the plane, the staff never say anything. They just think it's a pillow to make the flight more comfortable.
Which travel destination exceeded your expectations?
Without a doubt, Myanmar. I had very low expectations for my trip because it seemed quite similar to other countries in that area. However, watching the sun rise above the tops of the temples in Bagan really blew me away.
Do you prefer to travel by yourself or in a group?
It's hard to say. On the one hand, traveling by yourself gives you so much freedom and of course forces you to meet new people. On the other hand, sharing new exciting experiences with your closest mates is also pretty good.
Where would you like to go on your next trip?
Brazil has been on my bucket list for years now. I'd love to go to the north of the country. There's a place with loads of sand dunes where the water collects and it looks out of this world. You can also swim there.
Topic 7, weather. What's the weather like where you're from?
Usually it's wet and windy, and on top of that, most days are overcast. You get the odd spell of sunshine during the day, but really the weather is fairly miserable in the UK.
What's your favourite season of the year and why?
Seeing as my birthday is in June, I'd have to say summer. I just love being outdoors, whether that's sat in a pub garden having a few pints with my friends, or doing something a bit more active like cycling somewhere. It's just much better in the summer.
How does the weather affect your mood?
I've been living abroad for around 9 years now, and I definitely notice the difference in my mood when I'm back in the UK visiting family or friends. If it's grey and cloudy, I feel a bit down and I just want to hibernate at my mum's place.
Have you experienced severe weather conditions and what was it like?
This is going back years now, but one time my family and I were travelling by ferry from the UK to Ireland and we ran into a storm. The sea was really choppy and the ferry was rocking back and forth. As a child, I was shitting myself. I honestly thought we were going to die.
Which area of your country generally has the best weather?
Everywhere on the south coast, from Cornwall to Brighton. Central London is usually the warmest on average, but this might be due to all the pollution there.
Topic 8, food and drink. What's your comfort food of choice when you're feeling down or stressed?
If I'm feeling a bit bunged up or just a bit down, I always make some pasta as it reminds me of my mum's cooking.
How good are you at cooking?
My cooking skills are shocking. Honestly, don't ask me to cook you anything ever.
Have you ever eaten anything exotic, and what was it?
I accidentally ate horse sushi one time while I was living in Tokyo. It was in one of those restaurants that has the rotating dishes, and I just picked it off the conveyor belt because I was starving. It was quite expensive and it tasted pretty bland.
If you're with friends, where do you normally go to grab drinks?
I'm a big fan of craft beer, so if it's like a Saturday or Sunday, we go to a place near the beach in Barcelona called Garage Beer. They also make some delicious pizza, and there's a lot of outdoor seating to do a bit of sunbathing with a nice cold beer.
What's your favourite restaurant or cafe?
I'm gonna have to say Brew Coffee. It's literally down the road from where I live, and they have some great cinnamon rolls.
Topic 9, sports. What sports are you naturally good at?
I reckon I'm naturally good at most team sports like rugby or football. As well as that, I'm pretty good at sports that involve a board of some kind like surfing, snowboarding or skateboarding.
What sports do you enjoy watching and why?
I used to watch a lot of football when I lived in the UK, but now I don't really seem to have the time to watch a full 90 minutes. If I watch anything, I'm often watching the UFC fights or the highlights the following day.
Which athlete or sports team do you admire?
I'm going to go with Cristiano Ronaldo because I think it's really impressive how he looks after himself in terms of fitness and nutrition. On top of that, I really look up to how tenacious he is.
What was the memorable moment you had while you were playing a sport?
My favourite moment is when I was playing rugby as a child. I must have been around 9 years old, and I remember tackling one of the opposition players. After that, I immediately got up and tackled another 2 players, one after the other. I just remember feeling so proud of myself for having such a strong desire to win.
Topic 10, random. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could choose anyone, it would have to be Che Guevara. Not so much to learn about his Marxist thoughts, but more to hear about the experience or his experience traveling by motorbike across South America.
What is your biggest phobia?
I'm terrified of flying, which is a bloody nightmare because I love to travel. Normally, I have a couple of beers before we take off and I'm okay.
What skill or talent do you wish you had and why?
Well, I wish I could teleport because I'm terrified of flying, as I mentioned. And I hate it when the airline companies try to scam you by charging way too much for checked luggage.
Can you share a moment when you was completely out of your comfort zone?
In my opinion, I felt the most uncomfortable when I first moved to Japan. It was my first time living abroad and I didn't know a single word of Japanese at the time. However, it really helped me to grow as a person and I learned a lot about a completely new culture.
What's the strangest compliment you've ever got?
A lot of my Argentinian friends often tell me that I'm alright for an English person. Okay, that's everything for this video. I want to thank my mum for helping me today. I hope you enjoyed her asking you some questions. And remember, if you like this video, smash the like button and I'll see you next time.
Bye!